settles himself in, gives the gate a poke or two just to test to make sure that it's still there. Well, let's hope that it still drops now for him. Parker drops in beside him on the KTM number 99. Trampus Parker, the American. There's Joel Smets, number 3, limbering up his wrists and his hands as the crowd, 10,000 strong, line the side of the track for the start of the first moto. And away they went. And it was a tremendous hole shot by Honda mounted John van den Berg. But we had a few down on the first corner. They sort themselves out. Can I have my bike back, please? And here he is, JVB it is, the former 125 and 250 world champion, leading the pack away. Parker, then King, then Schmetz. Then number 9, Peter Dirks was amongst that group. Then number 4, Van Dorn. 10, that was Franco Rossi, the Italian. 86, that's Mike Young, the American. 12, Van Leeuwen, up the hill. Engaging already into some tight tussling in the corners. 18 there, that is Jeremy Watley on that brand new bike. But it was JVB that led the opener. But Parker beginning to close on him with Schmetz in third. Fourth then for the Kiwi, Daryl King. And Martins with the bike beginning to run well, already picking his way past the slower riders. 10, Rossi. Down the hill it came, and just look at Parker, giving no inch whatsoever to John van den Berg, literally shoving him out the way as Schmetz closed on those two riders. King still are in fourth. 4, Van Dorn. 24, Shane King, the younger brother of Daryl King. 86 going up the hill, Young. Combination of, and just look at Parker. Well, Schmetz attempted to pass Parker, and Parker just weaves straight across him on the top of the hill. Oh, Parker, a very competitive rider, wants to win this championship. And I'm sure KTM would only be too pleased to take the crown. 86, Young it is, with Rossi behind him. Parker already beginning to pull a gap over Schmetz, number 3. Then John van den Berg, now being pursued by the Kiwi Daryl King, number 11. '95, that's Petty Johansson with Van Dorn behind him. Johansson, a little bit of an immigrant from the 250 ranks of last year, but Schmetz still trying desperately to get on terms with Parker. Then it's King, passes John van den Berg. They are tussling for positions, and everyone counts as far as points are concerned. Rossi, Young being cheered on, the American 4-stroke champion, and Parker really has got this at the moment. Schmetz on the Husenberg trying everything he can to pass him. King settling at the moment for third on the Kawasaki. Then it's JVB, and he's got 15 there with him, Johan Boonen. Then oh, well, look at this. Oh, well, Jackie Martins is having a weekend, and it looks as if he's hurt his hand again. This is another bad weekend for Martins. He's got all tangled up in that trackside fencing, and they've got to try and get it untangled from his bike. Well, he's certainly hurt something on his hand, holding it in pain, but Trampus Parker, unaware of what's going on behind him, away in front. Schmetz beginning to drop off the pace. He can't stay with the 360 KTM. Then it's King, behind King, still JVB. Boonen's still there now. 95 beginning to give Petty Johansson, Boonen, a little bit of a run for his money. Van Dorn down the hill. 24, Shane King there with Van Dorn. So the brother of our current third place man. There's Mike Young, the American. Up over the hill they go. Well, no sign at the moment. There's Rossi of Jackie Martins. It's doubtful that he would have been able to continue. The leader, Parker. The 360 showing the big 4-strokes and the 500s the way round at the moment. There's the Husenberg of Schmetz, having to settle for second. King at the moment still third, untroubled, but he may well come under pressure from John van den Berg again. There's Boonen, 15. And there, number 95, and that's Paddy Johansson. 4, Van Dorn. They are beginning to close up on each other. Shane King looking for a way through. Young tagging on the back of that group. The thunder of the big four-strokes as the two-stroke KTM comes back around to complete another lap. It is Parker that leads from this man, Schmetz. The old Schmetz. Battled year after year to win this championship, finishing third in 94. Then it's King, John van den Berg, and Boonen. And Boonen beginning to close on van den Berg. But no one's closing on this man. He's there. Parker, a former 125 and 250 champion. 2 laps to go. If Parker can win this championship, he will equal what Eric Gabors did by winning all 3 categories. Boonen has got past John van den Berg. So Boonen on a little bit of a charge, and we've got the Kiwi, Daryl King. He's gone down, he's back behind that group now. So what happened to King, we do not know. Van Dorn going through. He's got Paddy Johansson with the younger brother, number 24, Shane King of Daryl King behind him. Mike Young is still there, steady at the moment. Here comes Parker, takes the checkered flag and the 20 points. Second for Schmetz then. Looking back for third, and it'll now be Johan Boonen. So the top 3 after Heat 1. Paddy Johansson here talking to Daryl and Shane King. And Daryl eventually finishing 5th with a puncher in that first race. Daryl being the man on the left. Here's the machine of Jol Smets, number 3, the Hussenberg, as the riders come down onto the line for the second heat of the day. Can Parker do as he did in Heat 1 and take the win? The 5-second board spins around, gate drops, here they come. Bit dusty again, but it is Parker and John van den Berg, Daryl King and Schmetz. Then 95 behind that group is Paddy Johansson. There was Shane King. As they start to sort themselves out. And there, number 15, Johan Boonen. Not a good start for him. But look at this. Parker's decided he wants to get out in front, out of the dust. He's got Smets chasing him with King, John van den Berg, and then 95, Paddy Johansson, 24, Shane King. So Shane having a tremendous ride here today. The younger brother of the Kawasaki rider, Daryl King, who's currently in front of him in this race. No sign of Jackie Martins in this one. He was out with a broken hand. So Jackie Martins' chance of winning the World Championship in 1995 beginning to slip further away. Rossi, number 10, down the hill. But Martins says he'll be back for the Grand Prix in Checo. It's in a couple of weeks' time. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Meanwhile, the leaders going through. John van den Berg there. He's now got Van Dorn with him and Shane King. They settle themselves down. With a banging and buffeting going on there, allowing Johan Boonen to slip through on the inside. And you can see the riders getting a liberal dose of water as they go past from some track personnel on the side. I don't know whether they'll be overly pleased about that. A goggle full of waters wouldn't go down too well with most riders. But look at this. Smets has decided that he doesn't want to be shown up again by a 360 KTM. He's going after Parker. Looking back behind the leading 2. John van den Berg, Van Dorn, then Shane King, and King is having a tremendous ride here. Another one of the KTMs. Boonen. We're more used to seeing Johan Boonen on a Kawasaki, but Smets has gone into the lead. Parker back to second. Taken a stone in his undercarriage apparently, so that will certainly brought a few tears to his eyes. And no doubt slow his progress just a little, and it has done because Smets will now roost him continuously with his own dirt. Van Dorn. Shane King on terms with Van Dorn. These 360 KTMs proving to be quite a useful bit of machinery in this open class level. Boonen on the big four-stroke, the Husqvarna. But it's Smets, then Parker. And Parker must be wishing for the end of the race. Got to be in pain after that. Track beginning to rough up in places as the heat goes on. This is the second heat of the day. And young Shane King really beginning to credit himself well. Boonen goes down the hill. We're back with the leader, Yul Smets. Still got Parker there with him, and I think Parker's having a little bit of a crack back at him. King. Fourth position for King. Van Dorn behind him. Should have Shane King in close attendance. Indeed he does. So we've got a 360 KTM second and one in the top six. There is, once again, 15 Johan Boonen, but Smets it is that comes around, throwing rocks and stones at the man that pursues him, Trampus Parker. Much a turnaround from race one. 95 third then for Paddy Johansson. Fourth for Daryl King, the Kiwi. Fifth then for John Vandenberg, number 59. Sixth behind him, number 4, and that's Van Dorn. Seventh then for the New Zealander, Shane King, number 24. And a good ride for him. Smets comes around to the delight of the crowd. He takes the checkered flag. The overall result then goes to Smets. Second on the day overall, Trampus Parker with a win and a second. Then King, third, fifth in the first race. Well, Smets finishes first in the last race, takes the overall result, but it's Trampus Parker who still leads the World Open Class Championship.